Hey everyone, I'm Liz Boccolini, and today we're going to take a look at Brew. This is for 2 to 4 players from Pandasaurus Games. And in this game, you're going to be rolling dice to try to claim forests, train forest creatures and release them, and then brew and drink potions that will give you one-time special actions. Whoever has the most points at the end of the game wins. So let's go over to the table, see how to play. So here is the 3-player setup for Brew. I'm going to have 4 forests out at the top. And you can see that they have different symbols on them. If I claim this forest, I get this many victory points at the end. We're going to have creatures out. I can train these creatures to use their special powers. And we're going to have potions out. I can pay resources to brew these potions and then drink them one time for this special power. I am also going to start with a character. They recommend the first time you play that you don't use the powers. So every character has a different power. But the first time you play, they just recommend using them on the non-power side. I also get this wild resource called an energy berry. And then I get 6 dice. 4 are forage dice, and they have plant or rock symbols on them. 2 are element dice, so they have fire, water, and air on them. We've also got the board, which is the village, and I can place dice within the village to do certain other actions. So the other resources are mushrooms, crystals, and these leaves. And I want to get them by foraging so that I can brew potions using these resources. On our turn, so everybody rolls at once. So we'll roll all of our dice. And then one by one, we'll place them until everybody's out of dice. That will be the end of the round. So I can place a dice on a space in the forest that has a matching symbol. So I have these branches. I can place it in a branch space, and then I will collect whatever resource is next to that space. So either the leaves, the crystal, or the mushroom. I can place a die in the village. So you'll see in the village that the 2 top spaces, any die can go there, and any number of people can use this space. So I can either gather 1 of any ingredient, or I can train a creature. So again, I can use any die for that. If I train a creature, I'm going to take one of these face-up creatures from the pile, and I get to use their power. So this one, on your turn, you may change any of your unplaced elements to fire. I'm going to put that on my trained side, and I can have a max of 3 trained creatures at a time. The other thing I can do is take element dice and place them either in the forest or in the village. You'll see that in the village, the bottom 3 spaces takes a fire, air, and water. Once somebody goes to those spaces, that's it. No one else can go there until the next round. If I place an element die in the forest, they can do certain things. So on the back of your player aid, you'll see the fire can be placed on top of any die in a forest. The water, if you place on an ingredient space, you get 2 additional of that ingredient. Air can be exchanged with 1 of your placed forage dice, and then you are allowed to return the forage dice to your hand and place it again. So let's say I place my water here, gather 1 of each ingredient, crystal, mushroom, leaf. Awesome. So we would go around, everybody places until they have no more dice. The last thing you can do before the round is up is you can brew and drink 1 potion. So if I want to buy, let's say, this potion, you can see it costs a mushroom and a leaf, and it lets me re-roll any number of my unplaced dice. So I would just pay the cost for that, the leaf and the mushroom. And now I've brewed this potion. I can drink it So I can flip it over and then use that action. So let's say I want to re-roll this dice. Okay, I re-rolled it to a rock. I can't use that potion anymore. That was a one-time action, but I can use this dice on its new face now. Once the round is over, everybody's placed, we're going to see who has claimed each forest. So the way you claim a forest is by being the majority player in the forest. So for example, if this forest looked like this, so there's 2 of my green, there's a dark blue, greenish, and a yellow. I have the most dice in that forest, so I would claim it. And at the end of the game, that's going to be worth 5 victory points. So I'll just put it in my hand over here. If everybody is tied or 2 players are tied, so let's say this forest looked like this. We've got 2 greens, 2 yellows, and a bluish. So nobody would claim that forest because green and yellow were tied for being the majority in the forest. If I am tied with the element dice or have fewer die on the forest than the element dice, for example, where are we? Here we go. No one will claim this forest either. So it doesn't matter who placed this element die. Once you place them, you get the action or the thing, but it no longer belongs to you. It doesn't count as part of your majority in the forest. So no one would claim this forest either. Similarly, if it looked like this, I would not claim that forest either because there are more element dice to 1 of my forage dice. So it is a bit tricky at first, I think, to realize that you did or didn't claim a forest, but then you do start getting used to, okay, the element dice don't count. It's got to be my color dice as the majority. Once everybody's claimed forests, and if they don't claim them, they just get discarded. We will fill, ooh, it's upside down. We will fill the top row with new forests. And then we will flip the board over, the village board, into the nighttime. And then you'll see that some of them are the same, gather 1 of any ingredient. Now this one has changed to reveal and reserve 1 potion. These have changed at the bottom as well. But the same rules for placement apply in the nighttime side. They're just different actions. If I've claimed a forest that matches the season of the creature, so they've got colors and symbols that tell you like this is a summer creature, I can release a creature into the forest. I can do that no matter what, but releasing the creature into the forest where the season matches the creature gives me more points at the end. So let's say I had this creature trained. This is an autumn creature. I have this forest. It counts as autumn and winter. So what I can do is say, okay, I'm going to release this creature into this forest. Now I get 3 victory points. I'll turn it upside down. Once a forest has 1 creature in it, it cannot take another. So even if the forest counts for 2 seasons, like now I can't put a winter creature in this forest. If I want to release a creature either to make room for training more, or I just don't want the power anymore, I can release it without the matching forest, but it's just worth 1 at the end. And at the end of the game, you will get to release all your creatures no matter what, so you don't have to really scramble to release them on your turn or anything. Lastly, revealing and reserving a potion is one of the actions that you can do. So let's say I place my dice there. I can look at the top potion of the deck. So this one says move any placed forage die to your empty forest space, or to any empty forest space. I can either choose this one or choose 1 from the face up. Whichever one I choose, I'll replace. I didn't brew this one yet. It's just that no one else can take it now. To brew it, I will have to pay that cost. 2 crystals and a mushroom. You can use your wild token for it. Now I've brewed it. Now I can drink it 1 time to use its power, and then it's gone. This power, scorch any empty forest space. You'll take one of these scorch tokens, you'll place it on an empty space. So this is helpful if, let's say you are controlling a forest, somebody's moving in, I've got 2 green, 1 yellow. Let's say I don't want yellow to take up 3 spaces and get the majority. And now it's my turn. I can place safely knowing nobody else can come in and take my forest. I've claimed that one. At the end of the game, so the game will end once the forest deck is empty. At the end of the game, you're going to count your points from all of your claimed forests, all of your brewed potions. So it actually doesn't matter if you drink them or not. You still get the points in the top right corner, so 2 and 3. All of your released creatures. So if you released into the matching forest, you get 3. If you just released without the matching forest, you get 1. All of your victory point tokens. So some actions or creatures like this one, whenever you train a creature, you get a victory point. If I had that creature, I would be taking these tokens. You'll count those as well. And then finally, if you have any leftover ingredients, you're going to get 1 victory point for every 3 leftover ingredients you have. So if I have 3 here, I get 1 point at the end. Adding up all of that, whoever's got the most points at the end wins. There is a tiebreaker. The tiebreaker is whoever has the most leftover ingredients. If there's still a tie, you're going to share the victory. So that is how to play Brew. Let's go back to the table and talk about final thoughts. So as for the game itself, I do like it. I think it's fun. I was really drawn to the art. I think the art is nice. I'm drawn to that cute style. The dice are cool. I like that they're color-coded for each player. As far as the theme to the game, according to the box, the theme is supposed to be that the seasons are all out of control, this land is in chaos, and we as the players are supposed to be restoring order by training creatures. I don't really get that feel in this game. I don't know that it comes through as well as it could have. The forest cards being split up in the seasons, like some of them are half autumn, half winter or whatnot. I just don't feel like that matters, other than if I claim a forest, I have options of which creature to release to get the maximum points for releasing the creature. But I thought it could have been more thematic in terms of, can I do different things in a winter forest than a summer forest, or different creatures are in forests or not, which I think not every season has every creature, but I just felt like the theme could have been there more, and it wasn't. But otherwise, as I said, I like it. It's fun. There is some take that, which can be, depending on how you like to play, you can kind of feel like, wow, I'm not claiming any forests. Like, I don't have many points, which can be frustrating. But again, some people are into that. Some people are not into that. So it just depends on your preference. Overall, with this one, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. Again, I think it's fun. I brought it to my game group recently, and people had a good time playing. But it's not something that I feel like blew me out of the water with the theme and the gameplay. But I would definitely suggest it. I think it's a good time once you learn the mechanics and what you can do where. I think it is enjoyable. So again, a 7 out of 10 for Brew. And I'm Liz Boccolini. Thank you so much for watching.